Hi, this is Marcus with another video from imperialdesignstudio.com. This video we're going to be explaining, or well, trying to explain, but more demonstrating what we call in the studio the mad cow effect. Mad cow being BSC, or background scrolling images. So what we do is take a box or draw a rectangle in what we call in-house filler strips. You can make that the length of the width of the whole page so it sticks to the side. And then what we do is put an image behind, or basically we're going to tell it to put in an image, but I only want that image displayed within this rectangle. So I'm going to add image, make sure it's a large image. This one I've chose is a nebula, which is a large image, and we open it and it will fill the image. Now what I'm going to show you is if we preview this and I scroll downwards, as you would expect, the image scrolls up with it, but I've only actually got a slice of that image because my display point is quite narrow. But what we're going to do is go back into the fill and change its scroll effects. Now first we'll activate the scroll effect, which by default are activated to a speed of 1 initially and a speed of 2 after the keyframe. Right, what that means is that this thing here at the top represents a key position. So at the minute, if I scroll up, this position at the top of the screen is the top of the browser. So if I pull this up to the top of the browser, I'm basically telling it, when the top of the screen is at this point, which it will be when the page loads anyway, then do the effect that I want. And the effect that I want is for that image to stay completely still while this rectangle scrolls over it. So I would change its scroll motion from a default 1 to a 0 on the top on the initial motion, and 0 on the bottom on the final motion. So what I've basically told it is initially don't move at all, and then after this motion, which usually it's further down the page if you have parallax across the page, but after this motion, so after the screen goes down, don't move at all. So let's see what that does in terms of what it looks like. So as you can see, I've got my rectangle there, and as I scroll down, the background image, so this would be initially don't move, which it's not, and when I after that point, which is this now, don't move again. So the image doesn't move, the rectangle moves, and it gives a stunning illusion that you're like in a viewpoint or a window. Again, we can use multiple filler strips, but this is just one effect. You can tweak the effects too. So if you were having things dropping down through it, then we would change the change the scroll effect afterwards, maybe to 0.3. So it's slowed down. Remember, our default was 1, so I'm going roughly 3 times slower, but it will still scroll. So let's have a look what that looks like, just to give you an example. No difference at all. Something went wrong, but hey. We'll move on, and now you have a good idea of what a background scrolling effect is. We will make a few more videos shortly to go through a few more features, and it'll better give you a understanding of what these features mean. If you're new to Muse, if you're a client, you can have a shop around all our features, and you can kind of piece together a website that you want. You can envisage it and get it in your head before you actually come to designing it, and you can come to the table with your own ideas rather than waiting for us to pluck an idea. You'll have a tool set, and as new users to Muse, you should kind of get a grasp of scrolling effects. As we make more videos, we're going more in depth into more complex scroll effects. So subscribe now for more videos, and we'll post more up shortly.